Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? My name is Kent. Channel is EOS San Diego, and I want to talk a little bit about the EOS Blockchain, why I take a little stroll on my motorcycle here. So this last week we had the fireside chat hosted by the ENF and Stefan Bison for EOS. So if you're interested in EOS at all, I highly recommend being on those fireside chats. They happen every Wednesday, and for us it's at 12, whatever time that translates for you. So 12 in the morning for us. So if you have any interest whatsoever in EOS or want to follow it or find out what's going on with the community, those fireside chats are really, really good. Good place to find information out. So anyway, on this last chat that we had, this fireside call we had, Steph, the host, asked us why we thought that EOS had been doing well in the markets, why it had been doing so well. And of course, we all come up with reasons, but one of the reasons I thought of after the call was over with was the fact that Ethereum, as most people know, is moving to proof of stake. They've been a proof of work protocol since the beginning of Ethereum, and now they're moving to proof of stake, which is getting ready to happen here very soon. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen because it's all kind of baked into the protocol, and there's going to be a lot of stuff take place. A lot of changes in Ethereum. In fact, so many changes that they may fork the chain. Actually, I think they are forking the chain. The people that want to stay with proof of work are going to go ahead and keep on running the chain, fork the chain as a proof of work because they like proof of work, because it's going to obviously the miners make money by mining the Ethereum, getting Ethereum for mining, and they don't want to change that. They're used to doing it that way, and they don't want to change. I mean, it's the way it's been done since the beginning of the chain launched. So you're going to really kind of have like 4 Ethereums going. You're going to have Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, and then you're going to have Ethereum, the Ethereum that continues on, and then the Ethereum W, which is like the Ethereum proof of work chain, which is going to be run too. So it's like Ethereum is going to be kind of a like what Ethereum is the real Ethereum? Is it the Ethereum Classic? Is it the Ethereum they forked, the Mt. Gox, or is it the Ethereum work, or is it just the plain Ethereum? We don't know. So this is getting to be kind of a little bit of a problem for Ethereum to kind of establish an identity, and especially the fact that they're going to have to change the way that the blockchain is operated by going to proof of stake. And of course, you have to stake Ethereum to be a miner. And I think you have to stake, I can't remember the numbers, but it's a pretty large amount of money it's got to be staked to become a miner on Ethereum right now. So all this stuff is going to be a lot different for Ethereum, and I think that's going to benefit EOS. You know, not that Ethereum goes away or something happens to Ethereum. Even if the Ethereum doesn't work, the switch doesn't work, and they have to restart the chain, I mean, they can still restart the chain, but it's going to be a negative for Ethereum either way. And I think it's been a negative for Ethereum for quite some time. It's just that there's so many people that follow Ethereum, and so many people have made so much money with Ethereum that they just cannot see it for what it really is, which is kind of a messed up deal right now. But that helps EOS, because EOS has been proof of stake since the beginning, since the launch. It's the one thing Dan Larimer did do, is he was able to identify early on that the proof of work system just wasn't going to handle the transactional speeds. And then the other thing too was that when they launched the chain, people weren't when there are fewer blocks being mined, the energy wasn't such a big deal. Well, as these blocks become more and more mined, more and more energy, now everybody's getting very conservational minded, ecology minded, and they're saying, hey, that's wasting our economy by doing all this mining for this blockchain. So now that's getting to be a big issue. Such a big issue that Elon Musk decided to discontinue taking Bitcoin for his cars, even though he owns Bitcoin and he likes Bitcoin, but just because of the pressure that he's under by people in the environment, that he discontinued taking Bitcoin for his cars because of the mining issue. So the mining issue is a big deal, and it was going to have to change. So Ethereum has switched over to proof of work, or proof of stake from proof of work, and this is something that EOS has been doing from the very beginning. So this is a big deal for EOS, because there's not very many blockchains right now that have the history of running proof of stake protocol that is the proven method of working, because that's why Ethereum's going to it. that has the kind of history that that EOS has. And of course, if you believe in the blockchain at all, you're going to have to realize at one point it's going to have to be proof of stake. Proof of work is great for holding on to money for monetary, for being able to control assets, hold assets, but not to be able to do second layer internet to where you're able to run applications and dApps and stuff like that. That has to be done on something with the second layer internet, which is not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just holding value, being able to hold value. So this is something EOS has been doing for quite some time. I think this is something that's going to continue to help the price. And of course, the price of all these tokens has been really hurt lately, because we're in an anti-inflationary cycle right now with the Federal Reserve, the U.S. Federal Reserve, and they're trying to do everything they can to contain inflation, but we all know this is just an endless up and down. I mean, boom and bust. You know, for a while they print money and they lower interest rates, and then once things start to heat up a little bit, then they raise interest rates, they quit printing so much money, and everything goes backwards. And I mean, this is just a continuous cycle that anybody that's watched it for very long knows that eventually they're just going to have to give up on these fiat currencies and recognize that there's too many of them, there's too many of them being printed, too many of them being used, and there's just too much stuff out in the universe to make any kind of sense out of it. So everything's going to eventually turn to the cryptocurrencies, and of course EOS being the one cryptocurrency that's been running the longest with proof of stake, which can handle the transactional speeds, which is going to be the proof of, you know, to do the DeFi, decentralized finance. This is going to be the blockchain that runs DeFi, and of course we got a long history with it, and I think more and more projects are going to be coming on board with running DeFi, and I think this is that's going to be more widely known. In fact, if you listen, I think earlier this year, Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, said that EOS is Ethereum on steroids. The reason he said that is because it was what he wanted his Ethereum to be, which was a stronger, more robust blockchain that could run lots of transactions, which it wasn't. So, and I listened yesterday on Twitter, watched Twitter, listened to Twitter, heard on Twitter, I guess you can listen on Twitter, that somebody said Ethereum, that blockchain, Vitalik said that he sold 15% of his Ethereum to buy EOS. I don't know if that was just somebody making that up, or if that was fake news or not, if that was real. But I know that there's a lot of people with eyes on EOS right now. Since, you know, EOS blockchain has gotten back under the control of the community through the ENF, and now that there is more aligned interests, and we don't have Block 1 with all their weirdness and trying to hang on to money that they got from the ICO, and in the meantime trying to keep the community, trying to protect themselves from the community and isolate themselves from the community as much as possible. So all these things are going to play to the strengths of EOS and the future of EOS. So yeah, the price has gone up quite a bit. I notice there's a lot more interest in EOS. A lot more people are acting more favorably towards it. People are starting to recognize that there is a future here with EOS, that the blockchain is definitely going to be the way transactions are done in the future, especially with DeFi. I mean, come on. This banking system that we have right now, with the way the banks operate, with the fees generated, with the time, and with the fact it's all analog and not digital. I mean, you just absolutely know that this is going to have to go digital one of these days, and you're going to have a currency that follows that digital world. And the only way to do that is on the blockchain. And of course, obviously too, the fact that the blockchain's open, transparent. It's being done not in a siloed database, but being done open. Blocks are transparent. People are able to see them. There's a lot more openness about it, and I think that's what people are looking for. So yeah, I think that EOS is sitting in a pretty good position right now to pick up some value, and to also to start to gain back some of that prestige they had before, you know, back in the day when they were called the Ethereum killer. And now looks like they just may become, I'm not saying they're going to take over Ethereum, but I'm going to say they may get a bigger piece of the pie as far as the blockchain smart contract world is concerned. And like I say, if you wanted to participate with these ENF calls, I mean, the community, anybody that wants to get on Discord, set up an account and participate, they're more than welcome. And not only to listen to the call, but to actually, there's a chat being along with the call. You get asked to speak. If you want to speak on that call, and it gives you an opportunity to give your opinions. And if you got an opinion about something that you like or dislike, there's a perfect opportunity for everybody to hear it, for you to talk to the people that are, helping make the decisions of how this blockchain is going to ultimately be run, and is being run today. So there's a lot of good things to talk about right now with EOS. Not to mention the fact, I think that my son brought up the fact that there is an ongoing litigation against Block 1. I think Steph talked about that a little bit too, that Block 1 is being sued because of their basically mishandling of the last 4 years of operations of this blockchain. And a judge said that the plaintiffs that were bringing the lawsuit were actually not being represented well. I mean, there's more people that should be represented as a plaintiff. You can't just say, hey, this is what we're going to do. He's actually asking, or kind of like inviting other people to join this lawsuit. Say, hey, you got a lot of people here that could possibly join this lawsuit. We're not going to limit it to just 1 or 2 or 3 or whoever's making this lawsuit right now. We've got a lot more people that could possibly join this lawsuit. So I got a lot of music over here to the side. Some guys over here playing a guitar. It's one of the nice things about doing it off my motorcycle is you get a chance to kind of see the area. But the bad thing is you get a lot of noise too. So what I'm going to do is take a left turn here, go along the coast for a ways, pull over and stop this video. But you get an idea of kind of what's going on here in Southern California on a Friday night, Labor Day weekend, I believe. So a lot of people at the beach. Weather's really warm. It's really, really nice here right now. So a lot of people, I see a lot of people from Nevada, a lot of people from Arizona. I mean, it's really hot in the desert right now, so you come here and it's like 75 degrees. People are just, you can see why they come. It's pretty easy to be around the water when it's about 110 degrees in the desert and it's about 75 degrees here. And at this time of year, the ocean warms up quite a bit too. So you can get into the ocean without even having a wetsuit on. You can just go out in a swimsuit, which a lot of the year here, if you want to be comfortable in the ocean, you got to wear a wetsuit if you want to do any surfing or anything like that. So anyway, I don't know what the price was. I think the price was down a little bit today. I think Chairman Powell come out and started saying that they're going to be real serious about getting rid of this inflation, and so he doubled down on his, some of the stuff that he was saying about continuing to raise interest rates, making sure they got a really firm handle on inflation, saying that that's, the driving force behind the economy, that if you don't have a stable dollar, if you don't have stable prices, you can't have a stable economy. So he's just kind of like the same old stuff, the same rhetoric that they always have. Just keep saying the same thing over and over again. They've been saying the same thing my whole life, ever since I've been young, old enough to understand anything about the banking system or about finances or anything like that. They've been saying the same thing. I mean, it's just going on and on and on. It can't keep going. It's going on forever, especially in a world of the internet and all the activities that they have as far as being able to expose people and the stuff that they do. And everybody knows the currency is just being printed out without any backing. So, I mean, that's widely known, widely understood. And when I was growing up, nobody knew that. Nobody understood that. Now everybody does. So there's a point where people just lose faith. And I think that point is coming pretty quickly, where people just completely lose faith in the currency. And what's going to take its place? I mean, you're going to have something take the place of the fiat the currencies. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, lends money to countries around the world. All that's going to have to be something else is going to have to, take the place of that. And right now, obviously, with Bitcoin running as long as it's run without any problems, it's a great store of value. More and more people will be using it. And of course, then we got these smart contract platforms, which is EOS, Ethereum, and these, Solana, all these others. These are coming along too. So this is definitely the place to be if you want to be ahead of the game. So the ocean's right there. I know you can't see it now because it's dark. Tomorrow morning, this whole side of this street will be filled with cars going to the beach. So I'm going to go up here just a little bit further and pull over and find a pop place up here. Whip into one of these little parking spots here if I can see one. Should be a little room up here for me to pull in ahead of this guy. And hopefully, with the weather being nice and the ability to do this off my motorcycle, which makes it easier for me, we can keep these going for a while. I appreciate you watching. Thanks.